exist. I don't know if everybody in the audience knows about this or not. There's no Bitcoin on the blockchain, physically or virtually.
Nothing actually, there's nothing that actually goes anywhere. And what makes Bitcoin worthless, as far as I'm concerned.
Today we're diving into a high-stakes clash between two financial titans with completely opposite visions of the future: Bitcoin pioneer CZ and legendary gold bug Peter Schiff. On one side we have Peter Schiff. He's a traditionalist who believes money must have intrinsic physical value. To him, gold is the ultimate king because you can actually use it. He views Bitcoin as a digital bubble backed by nothing more than thin air. But then you have CZ, the co-founder of Binance. He argues that we're living in a digital age where utility is value. He sees Bitcoin as Gold 2.0, a math-based system that is easier to transport, impossible to fake, and far more efficient for a global economy.
So we take it out. It's pretty heavy. I'll put this down. You can see it says Kyrgyzstan, 1,000 grams, fine gold, 99.9.9, and a serial number. Try it.
Yes, yeah, it's heavy.
Is it real gold or no?
Well, I don't know. I mean, is this what you're trying to say? I mean, let's see how it looks. Well, the color is a little, this is pure gold. My bracelet is pure gold, so the color looks a little off.
Yeah?
But, I don't know. I mean, probably, maybe it's not real gold.
It's given to me by a really important person.
Well, I know, but this is not a mint that I would recognize. I mean, the thing about mints is if you know the name of the company that minted it and you trust them because they have a reputation in the market that they want to protect. But this, I mean, I've never heard of any of this. So I would have to probably assay it to know if this was real gold. But the color looks a little off compared to my bracelet. Because this,
It might be your bracelet that's a little bit off. I don't know. So
it depends. Are you giving it to me?
I see.
Is it a gift?
This is the thing. I wouldn't.
Because if it's a gift, then I know it's. If you're not going to give it to me, it's probably real gold. If it's a gift, then maybe it's.
How much is this worth? Like one kg of gold right now?
Well, gold's about $4,200 an ounce. So I mean, that would probably be $50,000. I don't know. Do the math, but I mean, it seems like a lot of gold if it was real.
AI told me it's like 130,000-ish. Yeah, 130K-ish. What? Right or not wrong?
No, gold. Well, gold is, as I said, it's about $4,200 an ounce.
Okay.
And that's what is that?
It's 1 kg. So I don't know.
A kilogram? How many ounces in a kilogram? 32.
132.
30.
132K. All right. See.
So
I would want to give you. So it's 130. I don't want to give the whole piece. I can give a little bit, but I can't
Well, that's why you tokenize it. Then you can give me half of it.
Right. So
but they also make. We sell at my company Schiff Gold.
Yeah.
We sell 10th-ounce gold coins.
Right.
So, you can have small denomination, and we sell them by reputable mints. So you know that they're real. You don't have to guess. You don't have to try to assay it. You look at the coin, and you can tell if it's been monkeyed with. But
see, I want to give it to you, but I don't know if you can take it out of the country.
I'm sure I can just
like.
put it,
how many days are you staying?
You know what? No one's. I can put that in my bag. No one's going to care.
You sure?
Yeah.
This country can.
No.
Some countries will put you in jail
for carrying that.
Yeah, depends if you declared or not, etc. Where you got it, who you got it from, or the source.
Well, if I tell them I got it from you, what do you?
Then you'll probably be even bigger trouble. But it is real gold. It is given to me by the president of Kyrgyzstan. So I have not.
Well, you probably have some sentimental value now, so you don't want to give it to me.
Well, especially after this, you'll have some sentimental value. But we'll see. So, but the point is though, if I give you Bitcoin right now, right? We can verify instantly you got Bitcoin in a number of ways.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
Right, and also even with a tokenized gold, right? So if you send it to someone, you can verify it almost immediately. Right?
Yeah, so same with tokenized gold. Yes.
Yeah. So now I want to address your question about gold, Bitcoin, not based on anything. Do you use the iPhone or I saw you use
I have an iPhone, right here.
You don't use Android, right?
No, I have an iPhone.
And you use the internet, obviously. So you use X, Google, Facebook, etc. And Google is virtual, right?
Excuse me?
The internet is virtual. The internet has like nothing physical.
Yes, yes, it is. Yeah.
So when you use X is completely virtual. There's nothing physical about it. But X is worth a lot of money, right? It has value. It's a utility tool, right? So internet has value, right?
Yes. Yeah, there's no disputing that.
So Bitcoin itself actually doesn't exist. I don't know if everybody in the audience knows about this or not. There's no Bitcoin on the blockchain, physically or virtually. All there is records of transactions on the blockchain.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
So when people say, I send you 1 Bitcoin, they are not sending 1 Bitcoin. They just want another transaction on the ledger said, I send you 1
Right.
Bitcoin.
Nothing actually moves.
Nothing
right?
actually
There's
moves.
nothing that actually goes anywhere. I get that.
And the way we calculate, the way we figure out this address has 1 Bitcoin is actually we go through all the transactions on blockchain. We look at all the inputs and all the receiving and all the sending out. And then if there's a difference positive, then this address has 1 blockchain, 1 Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin actually doesn't exist anywhere. But it doesn't mean that because it's virtual, it has no value, right? So Google has a lot of value, Twitter has a lot of value, and when there's many virtual things that has value. So an item's value is not associated with its physical properties. Even with gold, right? The industrial, like the computer chips, which use gold, the value of gold is much less than the value of the gold we give because it's a rare commodity, precious metal, right?
Yeah, well, first of all, just because something is intangible, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are tangible assets, there's intangible assets. I'm not saying that something has to be tangible to have value. I mean, all companies, I mean, your company probably has goodwill that, that has value, but it's not something you can touch or feel. It's an intangible asset. And what makes Bitcoin worthless, as far as I'm concerned, is not the fact that I can't touch it or taste it or smell it. I guess I recognize that things can be intangible and have value. It's that you can't do anything with it. It doesn't have a utility beyond the fact that, yes, I can transfer it to you and you can transfer it to somebody else. And the whole methodology, the way it works, yes, it's very smart. The way the whole system is set up, I understand that. But at the end of the day, when I transfer my Bitcoin to you, I've transferred nothing. I have nothing. I give you nothing, right? When I transfer tokenized gold to you, I've transferred gold. I've transferred the ownership of the gold. And what gives the gold the value is what you do with it as a metal. Gold has properties that other metals don't have, that other elements don't have, and it's needed. There are industries that need gold. They must buy gold. They can't substitute copper or another metal. There are things that only gold can do, and companies need gold. Now, because gold is scarce, there's not just an abundant supply of gold. Because it's very valuable, but there's not a lot of it, then it's going to have a high price just by supply and demand. But even if people say, well, the real price, it's not, the investment price is $4,000 an ounce, but maybe it's only worth some lesser amount. I don't know. But the reason for the price, right? Price is always going to be determined by supply and demand. One of the functions that gold serves for central banks is it backs up their currency. It's a monetary reserve asset, and that's also a use for gold, and that helps determine the price of gold because you have central banks that need it, and they have to bid into the market to obtain it. But because gold doesn't decay, right, it doesn't lose any value over time. When I own gold, I don't just own what I can do with it today, but I own what somebody else can do with it in 1,000 years, in 10,000 years, because gold doesn't go away. I mean, the gold that was mined 10,000 years ago, it's still here. I mean, it doesn't go anywhere, and it's no different than it was in the past. And so gold's price today represents the present value of all of the uses from now until the end of time.
Sure.
You don't have that with other commodities that have a shelf life, that decay, they rot,
Okay.
right? Gold is unique in the fact that it never goes anywhere. And that's what makes it a store of value, too, because when I own gold, I am storing the use of that gold from now until the end of time. Even if I don't use it myself, if I just hold on to it, somebody somewhere in the future is going to use that gold. But there are people that also need to use it today in the present.
So you said a lot of things there. There's actually a lot of things that are very interesting, and we're so close to get you over.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
So first of all, on the gold, right? You said that the gold is always there. How much gold is there in the world?
Well, I don't have to know exactly, but I know it's pretty scarce, and the supply grows relatively slowly.
We don't know, right? We don't know.
Well, no, I don't know how much is in the Earth's crust.
Right. So tomorrow we can find another. No, China can find another big mine, and then there will be more gold. And now there's synthetic diamonds. Later on, we may be advanced enough in chemistry to be able to. That's a holy grail. Everyone wants to do synthetic gold. But
they've had alchemists for centuries trying to figure out how to make gold. And in fact, there was an article recently that somebody figured out how to make a speck of gold.
I don't think that was true, though. But the point is, though, with Bitcoin, we know exactly how much they are. All the things you said about gold, like till infinity, we know how much gold. We know how much Bitcoin there will be. And we know exactly where they are, right? So it's definitely a finite supply. You also mentioned very, very interestingly on gold still, I'll get to Bitcoin in a second, that the central banks use gold to back their currency, which we all know that stopped in 1971, right? So now, as you said, the currency is not really backed by anything. So gold is no longer used in that capacity.
Well, it's not used, the currencies are not redeemable in gold.
Yeah.
But if you have currency, and if your currency starts losing value in the market and you need to defend it, you need to prop it up, you need something to sell to buy back your own currency. And so central banks can use gold to do that, to secure the value of their currency in the market. You can sell your gold and buy back your currency and keep it propped up. So that's why the central banks need a reserve asset.
So recently when the when the gold price goes up, that means a lot of central banks are probably printing currency to buy gold themselves, right?
Well, I mean, central banks are printing money all the time. That's where inflation comes from.
So you mentioned earlier on the utility value. So you recognize that Bitcoin is not anything virtual. It doesn't have to be tangible to have value, right? So and gold's
right. It has to have a use. It has to do something.
No, but the gold's utility in commercial use is not where the value is from. Gold's value derived from it's a rare commodity. Right? And Bitcoin has a lot of utility. Bitcoin is not just for sending and receiving. Bitcoin is an entire industry. It's a new technology for money.
So CZ literally brings a gold bar on stage. Things got real. Schiff couldn't even verify if the bar was 100% authentic right there on the spot. And that was CZ's entire point. Gold is great, sure, but it's heavy, it's hard to verify, and good luck taking it through an airport. Schiff's counter is that Bitcoin is just not an asset class. He thinks it doesn't actually create anything. But then you hear CZ talk about someone in Africa saving their first $1,000 because they could move money in minutes instead of days. Honestly, it feels like they're both right about the problem. The current system is slow and it's breaking. But while Schiff wants to modernize the past with tokenized gold, CZ is betting that the next generation isn't going to want to trust a vault. They're going to trust the math. It's not just a debate about money anymore. It's a debate about what we're willing to trust in 2026. Catch you in the next one.